Add one common kitchen ingredient to beet juice and the blood flow effect may become dramatically stronger. Most people already have it at home. It costs only a few cents per serving, and yet almost nobody is told to use it this way. If you've been drinking beet juice every morning and wondering why the results have been modest, the reason may have nothing to do with the beet juice itself. The real mistake often happens after the very first sip. Beet juice is not a one-step remedy. It's a two-step process, and many adults over 60 complete only the first step. That's why some people notice better circulation and lower blood pressure readings within weeks, while others finish bottle after bottle and feel as if nothing changed. Before I reveal the ingredient, you need to understand the hidden step that determines whether beet juice reaches its full potential or delivers only a fraction of the benefit. Once you see this mechanism, the rest of the puzzle will make perfect sense. If this is your first time here, let me know your age and where you're watching from in the comments. It's encouraging to see people from different parts of the world taking steps to protect their heart health together. Here's the simple version of the science. Beet juice is rich in dietary nitrates, but nitrates do not relax your blood vessels directly. Your body must convert them into nitric oxide, a tiny signaling molecule that tells blood vessels to widen, so blood can move more easily through the heart, brain, and muscles. The surprising part is that this conversion depends on conditions inside your mouth and stomach, and those conditions often change with age. If the conversion is inefficient, much of the nitrate from beet juice is lost before it can become nitric oxide. That means two people can drink the same amount of beet juice and get very different results. Not because one juice is better, but because one person's body converts it more efficiently. If you've ever faithfully taken beet juice for weeks and wondered why your blood pressure barely moved, this may be the missing explanation. Many older adults assume they need a stronger supplement or a larger serving, when the real solution may be far simpler and much less expensive. In the next part, I'll show you exactly where the conversion process breaks down after 60, and why one ordinary kitchen ingredient can help restore the step that beet juice alone often cannot complete. Now that you know beet juice doesn't work through a single step, let's look at what actually happens after you drink it, because this is where the hidden difference begins. Most people imagine that the nutrients in beet juice are absorbed and immediately start relaxing the blood vessels. But your body is much more sophisticated than that. The dietary nitrates found in beet juice first enter your bloodstream, but they still aren't ready to do the job. Before they can support healthy circulation, they must go through a carefully coordinated conversion process. The first stage begins in an unexpected place, your mouth. Naturally occurring bacteria living on your tongue help convert dietary nitrates into another compound called nitrite. It may sound surprising, but these beneficial bacteria play an important role in producing nitric oxide later in the process. Without them, the journey is interrupted before it has a chance to reach its destination. That's why some researchers have found that using a strong antibacterial mouthwash shortly before drinking beet juice can greatly reduce its potential benefits. By removing too many of these helpful bacteria, you may also reduce your body's ability to complete the first step of this natural pathway. But that's only half of the story. And what happens next is even more important for many older adults. Once the nitrite reaches your stomach, it must be converted again into nitric oxide, the molecule that signals your blood vessels to relax and widen. Here's where age begins to make a noticeable difference. As we grow older, many people naturally produce less stomach acid than they did in their younger years. This gradual change often goes unnoticed because it develops slowly, yet it can influence how efficiently certain nutrients and natural compounds are processed inside the body. If stomach acid levels are lower than they should be, this second conversion step may become less efficient. In other words, you could be drinking the same glass of beet juice every morning, yet producing much less nitric oxide than someone whose conversion process is working at full capacity. Suddenly, it becomes much easier to understand why one person experiences encouraging improvements while another feels like nothing has changed at all. The difference isn't always the quality of the beet juice or the amount they drink. In many cases, it's how effectively their body completes this natural process. And here's what makes this so interesting. Scientists have been studying a simple way to support this conversion without buying another expensive supplement or doubling your beet juice intake. In the next part, I'll reveal the everyday ingredient researchers have investigated, explain why it works, and show you why it may be the missing piece that helps your body get far more from the beet juice you're already drinking. So, what is the simple ingredient that may help your body get more from beet juice? It's fresh lemon juice. At first, that might sound almost too simple to matter. After all, when people think about improving heart health, they usually imagine expensive supplements or complicated formulas, not something sitting in the fruit bowl. But sometimes the smallest changes make the biggest difference because they help your body work with the nutrients you're already consuming instead of simply adding more. The key isn't that lemon juice replaces beet juice. The key is that it may help your body complete the conversion process more efficiently. Fresh lemon juice naturally contains vitamin C along with citric acid, and both have been studied for their role in supporting the chemical reactions involved in converting nitrite into nitric oxide. In simple terms, vitamin C helps protect nitrite from breaking down into less useful compounds before it can be converted into nitric oxide, allowing more of it to continue along the pathway. At the same time, the natural citric acid creates a more favorable environment for this conversion to take place, which may be especially helpful for older adults whose stomach acid levels have gradually declined over the years. That's why the goal isn't to drink more beet juice. The goal is to help your body use the beet juice you're already drinking more effectively. Think about it this way. Imagine filling your car with premium fuel but having a partially clogged fuel line. Buying more fuel won't solve the problem because the engine still isn't receiving everything it needs. Once the pathway is working efficiently again, the same amount of fuel can produce much better performance. Your body works in a surprisingly similar way. It's not always about increasing what you consume, it's often about improving how well your body uses it. This is exactly why many people are surprised after learning that a simple squeeze of fresh lemon may be more valuable than purchasing a larger bottle of beet juice or switching to a more expensive brand. Of course, it's important to keep realistic expectations. This isn't a miracle cure, and it isn't a replacement for medications prescribed by your healthcare provider. But when combined with a balanced diet, regular physical activity, and proper medical care, this simple combination may offer additional support for healthy blood flow and circulation. The next question is obvious. If lemon juice can help, how much should you use? When should you drink it? And are there common mistakes that could reduce its effectiveness? Those answers are just as important as the ingredient itself, because timing and preparation can make a bigger difference than most people realize. In the next part, I'll walk you through the complete routine step by step, including one everyday habit that could quietly cancel out many of the benefits before the process even begins. Now that you know why fresh lemon juice may help your body make better use of beet juice, the next question is just as important. How should you actually use this combination? Surprisingly, the amount isn't complicated, but the way you prepare and consume it can make a real difference. A practical approach is to mix about 8 ounces of 100% beet juice with the juice from half of a freshly squeezed lemon just before drinking it. Fresh lemon juice is generally preferred because it naturally contains higher levels of vitamin C than many bottled varieties, which may lose some of their vitamin C during processing and storage. While bottled lemon juice is convenient, using a fresh lemon whenever possible gives you the greatest chance of getting the nutrients that make this combination worthwhile. Timing also matters more than many people realize. Research suggests that the body begins producing higher levels of nitric oxide within about 1 to 2 hours after consuming dietary nitrates. Because of that, many people choose to drink this mixture in the morning or about an hour before a walk or other physical activity, allowing the body time to complete the conversion process before circulation demands increase. But there is another detail that often surprises people, because it has nothing to do with the beet juice or the lemon itself. It has to do with something millions of people use every single day without giving it a second thought. If you use a strong antibacterial mouthwash immediately before drinking beet juice, you may unintentionally reduce many of its potential benefits. Remember those helpful bacteria we talked about earlier? They live naturally on your tongue and inside your mouth, and they play an important role in converting dietary nitrates into nitrite, which is the first major step toward producing nitric oxide. A powerful antibacterial mouthwash doesn't know the difference between harmful bacteria and beneficial bacteria. It can reduce both. That's why some researchers recommend avoiding strong antibacterial mouthwash for a period before drinking beet juice if your goal is to support nitric oxide production. It's a simple adjustment that costs nothing but may help preserve the very pathway your body depends on. Another common mistake is expecting overnight results. Many people try a healthy habit for just a few days, don't notice a dramatic change, and decide it isn't working. But supporting circulation is usually about consistency, not instant transformation. Just like improving fitness or maintaining healthy eating habits, the greatest benefits often come from making small, sustainable choices over weeks rather than expecting immediate changes after a single serving. And while fresh lemon juice may be the most important addition, it isn't the only simple ingredient that has been studied for supporting healthy circulation. In the next and final part, I'll show you 3 additional kitchen staples that may complement this routine, along with an important reminder about setting realistic expectations so you can decide whether this approach fits into your overall heart-healthy lifestyle. Before we finish, there's one more thing worth knowing. While fresh lemon juice may be one of the simplest ways to help your body make better use of beet juice, it's not the only everyday ingredient that researchers have explored for supporting healthy circulation. A small pinch of cayenne pepper, for example, contains a natural compound called capsaicin, which has been studied for its ability to encourage healthy blood vessel function through a pathway that's different from dietary nitrates. Fresh ginger is another kitchen staple that has attracted attention because it contains natural plant compounds that may support healthy circulation and help maintain normal blood flow. Some people also like to add a small teaspoon of raw honey, not only to balance the earthy taste of beet juice and lemon, but because raw honey naturally contains plant antioxidants that may support overall vascular health. While each of these ingredients works differently, they all have one thing in common: they're intended to complement a healthy lifestyle, not replace it. It's also important to remember that no single drink, food, or supplement can undo years of unhealthy habits. If you smoke, spend most of the day sitting, eat a diet high in processed foods, or rarely exercise, adding lemon to beet juice alone isn't likely to produce dramatic changes. The greatest improvements in heart health usually come from combining several healthy habits over time: eating a balanced diet, staying physically active, getting enough sleep, managing stress, following your healthcare provider's advice, and keeping conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol under control. Think of beet juice and lemon as one piece of a much larger picture rather than the entire solution. If you decide to try this combination, be patient and give your body time to respond. Consistency almost always matters more than expecting immediate results after a few days. And if you're currently taking medication for blood pressure, heart disease, or any other medical condition, it's always a good idea to speak with your healthcare provider before making significant changes to your diet, especially since dietary nitrates may not be appropriate for everyone. The encouraging news is that sometimes meaningful improvements begin with surprisingly simple habits, instead of spending more money searching for the next miracle supplement. It may be worth asking whether you're helping your body get the most from the healthy foods you're already consuming. That's often where lasting progress begins. If you found this information helpful, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever tried beet juice before? Or is this something you're considering for the first time? And if you know someone who's been drinking beet juice without seeing the results they hoped for, share this video with them. The missing piece might not be another expensive product, it could simply be understanding how to help the body use what's already in the glass.